set the stage for time independence, right? Like appointment viewing went away years ago, or for at least half of the U.S. went away years ago. So certainly, I think it's if you look at the progression over the last, say, 15 years even, people have more and more control over what they watch and how they watch it. And I think the interesting thing is if you talked about IP distribution or different distribution models 10 years ago, there was a lot of resistance within the industry to change. I think you see a lot less of that now. And people are used to being able to watch what they want substantially when they want it. They're demanding to see it more on more devices and having the tablet phone act as a viewing device as well. And I think that presents a few challenges. Content starts to become more and more overwhelming. There's kind of two binary cases here. You either end up watching the same things that you watch traditionally, and you're not expanding your time past that, or you've got basically a role and a choice, and you're faced with a bunch of decisions all the time. So I think another thing that is that we're focusing on certainly is discovery tools. So how do you navigate through all this content? How do you identify the things you really like, get recommendations from the things that you really like? How do you connect with friends or have more conversations about shows or movies, etc. that you like? So expanding and navigating that world of choice, I think, is a byproduct of all the different content options that you have.
Do you think that the second screen, social media integration, do those help solve these problems, or they make it even more complicated for companies like Boxee and TiVo?
I think second screen gives you it presents an opportunity, especially as more and more people have that second screen open, whether it's a tablet, a phone, or a PC. The challenge with interactive TV has been around for 20 years, right? I think the Time Warner experiment down in Florida was 1996 or something along those lines, or before. But when trying to create interactive television, it was about affecting the viewing experience, right? The thing that the second screen allows you to do is you can have a secondary experience going on and not interfere with your viewing experience. I think that's the thing that you want to try to take advantage of.
Is that something that you've also seen, the way that people interact with your box is not just with a traditional role, trying to build for that, but also build for what people expect from using their mobile device?
Yes, I think it depends what we're talking about when you're talking about the second screen experience. So what we are looking at when we're building our second screen is much more on being able to discover and being able to kind of manage your views, manage your device, manage your recordings, tune into a specific episode or a specific show or event. I think that there's another part of second screen which is much more just the interaction as the show is happening. And that's something that we're not necessarily trying to solve. I think that there's other experiences that are more right for it. So for instance, there's no reason for us to try and take over what Twitter is doing or what you can do with Twitter as you're watching a show, because that experience is happening there. That's the place to be. So from our perspective, we will definitely try to focus on our content, the content that's available on our device, managing it and discovering it.
And we have Raghu from Sling. Thanks for joining us. Hi. Sorry about that. There's no problem. Now Sling is specifically meant for people when you're at an event like this. I'm in San Francisco, my TV is at home. You've changed that. I can watch a video no matter where I am. Can you talk a little bit about how Sling is developed and place shifting? We talked about changing when you can watch TV, having access to different formats, but having different access to a TV in a different place, live TV. That's what Sling has really pioneered. As you go forward, what do you think changes in the future when people have more expectations of being able to access their TV, but not just in their living rooms, but as a digital television?
Right. I think if you generally look at the fundamental notion of place shifting, which is the category we created, just like you created time shifting, we haven't changed much since the time we launched in 2005, of course. Our products have gotten better in terms of the quality of video that we are able to deliver. Last fall, when we released the blue set of products, they just pushed the bar all the way up. Now we can do 1080p HD place shifting. And more important is, we constantly looked at offering the quality and what they're already paying for on any mobile device, any PC, any Mac, anywhere in the world. And what is more important is there has been a subscription fatigue, and that continues to happen for consumers. People really don't want to pay over and over again, no matter in what shape or form it is. And that's the value proposition we drive with our Sling boxes. You buy the Sling box once, you install it at home, there are no monthly fees, and you make an app purchase for your mobile platforms, whether it's tablet or phone, and you can then watch your content that you already subscribed for, wherever you are.
Now, is that something that you guys have seen as well, where you have some subscriptions, we talk about access to content from different locations, you have much of the same content sometimes, not just on JTV, for example, or on over there, but also on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or any of these services. Is that something that you're concerned with customers having to sign up to so many services to get access to, or have logins for different video on demand providers?
I don't think we're worried about that, specifically because in our case, most of our customers who have bought TiVo usually use it as 10, and that's something that's really free. So that main bulk of the TiVo subscription, over $100 for that, or that's not relevant. So now they're probably paying $8 a month for Netflix, and some movies that they'll be buying on Hulu, and maybe for another service, and then we start charging $10 a month once we go out of beta for our DVR service. But that's not a lot. If you compare that to any other option, alternative that's out there, we're talking about $25 or less than that in order to get most of your content. I think that's totally fair, and I don't think that that's something that we should worry about.
Now, from TiVo's perspective, for that same thing, maybe you have a slightly different issue or approach because so many of your customers are using cable. Also, just to take one of the questions that was tweeted, how's the response been to the TiVo Mini and the subscription fee for the second box?
I think for the most part, people don't like subscriptions, right? If you're giving me a choice of free or pay something, as a consumer, I'm going to take free. But I think it's about unlocking the value of what you already paid for. So we're talking a bit about the different content sources and whether we have a cable bill or not. The vast majority of content still comes or is made available through pay TV services in the U.S. It accounts for about 85% of the U.S. households. So a lot of people are using pay TV services in the first place. Our value proposition is about unlocking the value that you're already paying for. So getting more out of the things that you're already paying for. We spend a lot of time integrating in the discovery process, integrating all your linear channels, all your Netflix, Amazon, in the Bay Area, Xfinity VOD. The ultimate vision is I want you to be able to sit down in front of your TV, think about something you might want to watch, and find it no matter where it's. If it's available from someplace, I want you to be able to find it. I want you to be able to take action and watch it right away. Some of those things that you find are going to require a subscription, and some are not. And as an individual, each individual consumer is going to make the choice of what is of value to them and what isn't. When we design our UI, we try to make it as simple as possible, right? So you can go to search, and if you search for 30 Rock, I want to be able to tell you you can get 30 Rock. It's playing in reruns, coming up this Tuesday. You've got 5 of them, or 10 of them, or however many of them sitting on your disk. You can, X number of episodes are available from Netflix. You can buy the individual episode if you're a real fan of one from Amazon, and put all that choice into the consumer's hands, but not make it overwhelming so you have to make a decision all the time, right? It's very content centric. So getting back to your original your question about subscription fees, I think that the vast majority of people accept that content costs something, and they're willing to pay for it. But the key is giving people choice. Right? If you want to minimize your expenses, but have a smaller range of content, that's completely accessible. TiVo supports over the air as well, so you put an ATSC antenna really outside of the Boxee offering in beta. And we're the only ATSC DVR available on the market. well. So you want to use ATSC over the air as your main content source and marry it with Netflix or Amazon, you're more than welcome to do that. You have a cable, you're already paying for a cable bill, use TiVo, get more out of the cable that you're already paying for.
And as far as the mini hubs, the consumer responsibility to that, because there's been some question about, hey, maybe the second room to get DVR access, also having subscription fee versus like. I think that's something that TiVo has always tried to balance. What do you think customers prefer, and what kind of options can you potentially provide in the future?
So for many in particular, one, it just went out last week. So I can't tell you demand high, low, whatever. We've been very happy with the band so far, but it's a week old. So and we actually launched this with we have a wholesale business and a retail business, so we launched this with some of our wholesale partners in the fall, and I'll tell you the demand's been very high. People want all their TV in all the rooms. In terms of the fee for mini, when you have mini, it's using the tuner off of the main DVR. You're no longer paying your digital outlet fee to your cable provider. So that second screen that you are already typically paying for today, mini takes the place of that. So we feel like there's a lot of value being brought out of that already. And if you do the math, it's either even for a much better experience, or it's slightly less than what the majority of people are already paying.
I want to thank Peter Easton for that question. Again, if you have any questions for any of our panelists, please tweet us with the hashtag TV and ExpandSF. Now for Sling, you introduced a new iPad at CES. How do you think that changes the way that people have learned to interact with the products, and what kind of new features does that bring?
Well, I assume you're asking about the new iPad Sling Box companion app. Yes. We demoed and we launched it at CES. We're almost about to release it for the consumers. So what we've realized is, in terms of consumers being able to watch content on any of their devices anywhere, that's clearly a key driver. But besides the fact, and this would be an entirely different topic about how you interact with the content on the first screen, we realized that we have the capability to provide much more richer experiences for the Sling Box consumer. So we launched an app that allows the user to be able to control the content on the first screen if you already own a Sling Box, and make it even more richer by providing the social integration, providing recommendations. And that's the path that we have taken on with this new app that we talked about at CES, and it's called Sling Box Companion. It's a very enriching experience in terms of the UI and UX. It allows you to find what's really hot, what's trending at this point in time in a particular area. And if you have that subscription, or if you have that content on your subscription, cable or satellite, you would actually be able to control your source to be able to change to that channel.
Is that something that customers have been asking for Sling? Not just, okay, can I stream it on my computer, stream it to my various devices, to be able to stream it on a TV somewhere else?
Yeah, so a lot of this has been the result of customer feedback coming in. One of the most common things that customers have pointed out is we do have a control of the source set-top box. We control it using an IR master. So it just makes sense to extend that even beyond. If you are not really play shifting, if you are not watching the content elsewhere, but you're sitting right in the living room in front of the TV, why can't I be able to do some of these interactive actions? So I think that's the reason why we got this Sling Box companion.
And that's been a big change for Sling, not just a hardware, but also kind of as an embedded service in other products for the player, and not for the companion app on your mobile device. Is that something that you guys have seen also? One commonality that you all have, you sell a box as much of your product. Do you see perhaps the Boxee TV, the possibility of it as an embedded product in other devices, in other TVs, or other set-top boxes, or just any way someone can build that in?
Yeah, so from our perspective, for us the box is a little bit of a Trojan horse for the midterm. It's a way to get into the house and to get to our early consumers, customers using it. But moving forward, the bare bones, if you look at what's inside of the Boxee device, it actually all exists watching whatever you want, outside the house or recording it into the cloud. That's definitely the way forward for us.
Is that's something that TiVo is considered also? I know that we had a TV from Best Buy that had TiVo functionality into it. We have the TiVo Mini for our extra rooms. Is that a possibility that you can use other hardware to watch video either from your TiVo to have the same kind of functionality in menus?
Yeah, I think it depends on what exactly you're trying to replicate. And I think there are things that you can replicate and things that you can't under today's technology. But I think if you look, 5 to 10 years out, more and more you want to eliminate the number of devices that you have to interact with. TV might be one connected TVs might be one path to do that. Another device might be another. If you look at the life cycle of the TV, and this is what we constantly have debates about with colleagues, the life cycle of the TV tends to be longer. So I think it's actually short. It used to be close to 20 years. I think it's shortened down to something in the family of 7. But it still tends to be a longer term purchase. Swapping out a TV and putting in a new TV, and that's, I don't want to do that often if I don't have to. So I think there are benefits to having some capabilities outside or a module outside of the TV that I can change out as technology changes and take advantage of new things. That said, you're going to see more and more cloud delivery of content. So it's this blending, this cloud delivery, and this locally stored content that I think is going to be the trend that you want to stay in front of.
Now, going forward, I think you mentioned this a bit earlier, managing customer expectations or responding to what customers expect to be able to access their TV. We've talked about how you're all changing. What do you think people want in the future? Just more of the features that you've already shown off,